going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I thought we would take it back into the community ideas on things that we really want to see in this game, but more so towards the Black Panther DLC, and when it comes down to villain sectors and most importantly especially the multiplayer aspect of this game. Now, as always, if you do want to get involved in these future types of videos, just let me know one thing you really want to see in this game in the comments below, and if you see ideas that you think are actually good ideas, then just go ahead, simply thumbs up those comments, because the ones with the most thumbs up are the ones that get selected. Now, as always, let's try and crush 9 likes, click that big red subscribe button below, and I have to let you guys know that Instant Gaming are doing one really cool giveaway. So you can see it on screen. If you want to get involved with this, I mean, you'd be crazy not to get involved, right? It's a New Year contest and you can win 1,500 euros in game. So go ahead and participate in that if you want to be in for the chance to win, and let's dive into this video. So I want to kick off with this idea that doesn't come from the comments of my videos, but it's actually an idea that I see in the mythical lands of Reddit. Now, I do want to give a shout out to the person who did post this, and what I will be doing is posting the original link to the idea in the description below so you can go and upvote it, etc, but this was a great idea and you can see it on screen. It is the Wakandan raid, possibly 6 to 8 players. Now, Aldin Storm, who posted this, says, "I know matchmaking isn't the best, but come on, I can't be the only one that would love to see this." Now, we know that, okay, let's put possibly the Wakanda raid to aside for a second, but I mean raids as a whole, right? Although we've not got any official, I guess, concrete evidence, right? We know that the raid is going to be the biggest thing in this game, and that it is actually going to be coming with the Wakanda update, which actually is going to be the Black Panther DLC. And if you've been tuning into the last few videos, especially related to Black Panther, you'll know exactly where we are right now with all the leaks and I guess teasers that Miller is dropping as well, and especially when it comes down to raids as a whole. Now, if you're not up to date with that, definitely check those videos out after, but you will completely understand what I mean. Now, I do think that it would actually be a huge opportunity missed, and I don't do a lot of matchmaking, but from other players that I can see that are still attempting to matchmake, I mean, it's actually doing well. Now, I'm not too sure about when it comes down to Steam, because those players to an extent are still quite low, but it's not low enough to never be able to match to somebody, of course. But what's interesting is, as far as I'm aware, when it comes down to console, it's not more or less instant, but it's not far off, and it's quite easy to just match up with players. So, okay, it might not be the greatest at this moment in time, but 6 to 8 players in terms of like co-op or whatever you want to call it would be absolutely incredible. And yes, it would just have to be a must. Alright, Black Panther, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Shuri, Hulk, all these people, right? And of course War Machine. I mean, this just looks absolutely incredible. Like, it's just gotta be. So leave your thoughts on this one in the comments below. I think if it doesn't have something similar to this, at least it could be missing out on a big opportunity. And you know how we've also been talking about that wow moment, or just that moment in this game where people talk about the game a lot, or that one specific mission or whatever it would be. This would be that. This would be that moment for Marvel's Avengers that would be very fun. But guys, leave your thoughts on this one in the comments below. Now, going on to the next one, it does come from Marky Mark, which says it would be sick if they added a mission type called Cree Invasion in the future. The way I picture it is that there is a wave of Cree enemies backed by a Cree senator that are progressing towards Wakanda or just some location. Now, the Avengers have to stop the assault and take down the Sentinel collectively, and I think they could potentially make this a villain sector as well. I hope they consider something like this. Now, this got a decent amount of thumbs up, like just under 60 thumbs up, and it's actually an idea that more people than I thought would really love to see. But I mean, having enemies in waves that are not a harm room, right, would actually be fun. But also just having a new wave of enemies that are not not aimbots. I keep saying this. That's what we need. We need multiple enemies, categories of enemies in the game. Like, put it in perspective. If this game launched with your aim robots and then you had like your other adaptoids, which we do have, right? But if you had more villains, okay, more enemies, should I say, types, not villains, more enemies types, I can guarantee you that this game would be way more fun than it is right now. It pushes you towards different types of loadouts as well for your heroes. And I mean, as I'm literally saying this right now, an idea that just sprung into the top of my head would be even having something similar to this, but maybe just waves of different types of enemies as well, would actually be really good. And again, pushing you to really rethink your loadout for your heroes, and I guess specifically choose who you want on your team as well. It would just have more of a purpose, and I think it would work very, very well. Now, going on to the last one, which again is, I mean, this is an idea that I feel like we've kind of touched up on in the past, but what it does say is I want to be able to play as villains and have heroes versus villains mode. For example, you got a Hulk versus mode, which would be 1v6, and they need to make the multiplayer 1-6 since they are actually 6 original and not 4. So that's another thing that again kind of links back to the whole Wakanda raid 6 to 8 players type of thing. But yes, you are right on that. Just to kind of recap as to why we have only these certain I guess numbers, is because they didn't want more people to basically have the same type of hero, right? That's basically their solution. But as we get more in the roster, of course, it makes sense to really up that number. But look, I mean, a heroes versus villain mode is something that's been, I guess, kind of roaming about in the idea world, right? In the community as well, and I do truly think it would be good. Now, here's another thing. We were talking about, you know, challenges a few videos back, and like community leaderboards as well, when it comes down to how many aimbots can be taken out, or how quick you've done X mission in, for instance, or how many, I guess, knockouts did you have, if you want to call it that. Like, there were loads of different things when it comes down to really getting the community involved, and I think a hero versus villain mode would actually work very, very well with that, because first of all, it's different, it's unique, it's refreshing, and it can be done with co-op as well. You can just go ahead and do, even if it was like a 4v4, right? 4 villains, 4 heroes. As simple as that. Different powers. I mean, depending on what villains we have, of course, you can technically clone the hero's powers, but you get what I mean. Like, there is enough there to have 8 players, but also, of course, to make it way more challenging and more entertaining for a player base in general. Like, I hope you can see the vision that I'm going with here, because in my head this sounds like it would be great. How easy is it to do something like that? I'm not genuinely sure. I have no clue whatsoever, but I think an idea like this, when it comes down to co-op, when it comes down to just matchmaking with anybody in the entire world, this would be a game mode that would work very, very well. And again, Wakanda raid being the greatest idea as well. So leave your thoughts on this stuff. What do you think about waves? What do you think about waves with different enemy types? And what do you think about a Wakanda raid? Guys, leave your thoughts on this in the comments below. And that is going to wrap up this video here. So I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day. And until the next one, adios amigos.